Thank you very much, President. I'd like to thank the Commissioner for her answer as well. Like my previous colleague, I think one of the biggest difficulties, whilst we would all understand the importance for access to justice in a format which is understandable to that person seeking the justice, it should also be recognised that these new rules cannot be used as a legal mechanism to delay further hearing of important cases, whether it's for deportation under immigration rules or whether it's with regard to challenging certain criminal records and so on. And is there any piece within the legislation or within the proposal that would allow for the court to ignore the necessity for every single document to be translated into the language? Thank you.
Commissioner, you have the floor.
Well, I can only repeat that the cost of an improper functioning of justice, or the cost of not treating human beings as human beings should be treated in a Europe of rights, is much higher than investing into those basic rights. Of course, it is much more difficult to come to the minimum threshold for countries who are very much below the minimum threshold, and it will be much more easy for countries who are already at a certain level of rights to get this done. Should that be a reason for not acting? I think no. On the contrary, we have been analysing the possible costs for the different member states on the basis also on the pressure which they have. You must know it is not a question of asylum alone, it is a question of criminal proceedings. So it would be if illegal immigrants would have a criminal act for which they would be in front of the court. And of course we have not made it compulsory to have all the documents translated, but only those documents which are essential so that the person prosecuted can understand what is happening to him and to her. And by the way, the big numbers in this are not the illegal immigrants. The big numbers in this are people who travel in other member states, the tourists for instance, or the people who live in another member state and do not possess the language of that member state. So it is for millions and millions of European citizens which have a benefit, and it is a basic benefit nevertheless. Can you imagine that you are travelling from Strasbourg to a neighbouring country, you are caught in a traffic accident, you have hurt a person, you are brought to the police, you are brought to the court, and you have no idea about what is reproached to you. So you would be very happy then at least to know what is on the agenda so that you can try to defend yourself. I think that is basic human rights, and we should speak about cost to society, not to have these basic human rights put into practice.